Alright, everybody, for those of you who may or may not be watching on YouTube, welcome. We are playing some Modern today. This is an Esper Goryo's Vengeance deck, yet another Aspiring Spike deck, shocker. And we are trying to Goryo's Vengeance, mostly Atraxa, but we also have a couple of Griselbrands here. We're also pairing that with kind of the scam, for lack of a better term, engine of Grief, Solitude, and Ephemerate. The really nice thing about Ephemerate in this deck is if you Goryo's Vengeance either in Atraxa or a Griselbrand and then Ephemerate it, it doesn't sacrifice end of turn, or exile it, I should say. You get to keep the creature in play, which is really, really cool. We're also playing some discard enablers, Faithful Mending, and Tainted Indulgence to help fuel the Goryo's Vengeance, along with Collective Brutality. And then we're playing a domain package with 2 Triomes and 4 Leyline Bindings, 1 main deck Teferi to help supplement the 2 in the sideboard, and then the rest of the main deck, there's Shadow Prophecy to pair alongside with the Bindings, which is really, really good because you get to dig 5 cards deep, you get to put a fatty in the graveyard, and also, look 5 cards for Goryos, which is pretty nice. Moving on to the sideboard, we have 7 Leylines, which is kind of cool. Just free spells that you can have in your opening hand that are really, really impactful in their given matchups. Prismatic Ending to help deal with graveyard hate, Teferi against opposing control decks, and Silence for combo and cascade. So that is the deck list, so let's get started. I know a lot of people don't want to believe it, but after playing Standard for about 2 weeks straight, it's actually not that bad. So, the thing about Standard is there's not a ton of different decks. Like, Grixis is by far the most played deck. But the nice thing about Standard is I just think that the games are generally kind of fun. Like, I just enjoy playing the games, especially against Grixis. Like, I just think that playing the games against Grixis are generally not that bad. Is that a hype train? Scam train. Big fella 451. Thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. Says you've been my go-to streamer recently. Props to you for going full-time. You're doing great, man. Keep it up. Well, thank you very much for the 2 months, big fella. That's very, very nice of you. I appreciate the support. What we got? We got a Mother Binding. And I guess we're just going to Grief the next turn. Song request from Plays Cards. In the queue, Tasha's Hideous Laughter for 7. Could we get some Keck W's for the Hideous Laughter? Any Keck W's in the chat? Keck W's for the laughter. Oh yeah, low is a banger. I'm down for low. Please don't kill my Indatha Triome, because then I can't hardcast Atraxa. Whew, dodged. Actually dodged. Can push my homie now if they want to. Yeah, that's fine. We're out of basics, though. Perfect. Let's go here. Come on, Goryos. Goryos. No! Sag. Which is not ideal. What's up, Mikey? Don't let the scam train die, chat. We cannot let the scam train die. We must keep the scam train alive. Zek is why I went 6-3 in the Super Qualifier. I assume it's a bad matchup for Mill, but I don't know. I could be convinced either way. Like, you have surgicals. Yeah, the issue with that, Kaya, is we don't have another basic in our deck. So if we ever get Field of Ruin, then we... Oh. I was gonna say, if we ever get Field of Ruin, then we can't do that, but... I'd rather leave up double Ephemerate. What's better, Atraxa or Griselbrand? I don't actually know. I'm trying to think of which one's better here. I assume Griselbrand? Let's go Griselbrand. It's gotta be Griselbrand. Alright, didn't matter anyways. Saint Nick, thank you for the 5. Appreciate the 5. Thank you. What's up, Cathal? Level 1, Scam Train complete. Thank you for the 5 months, Nick. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Best counterspell? Oh, what, Drown? No! Oh. We can't hardcast now. We can hardcast Solitude. Having such a high CMC in the version I played had 3 main deck Emeralds. Oh, I see. You didn't play against Sorceress, did you? Because Sorceress has been playing like the Goryos, Asmo, Emrakul stuff. Don't kill my creatures, please. Full house, baby. Let's go. Full house. Let's go. God, the Hardcast dream is dead. That's really, really sad. You're broke with channel points? Well, you gotta start gambling correctly. Now, this list is not playing Priest. Probably not gonna ever crack that fetch. Should stop losing. Well, you should just bet on me losing then. Because I just always lose anyways. We do have nice basics. Our opponent, however, you know. No comment. God, I drew the 7th land, too. If only I could Ephemerate my Indatha Triome. Whatever this is, I'm just going to cast Ephemerate. They have a better basic swamp. You mean a mountain? Their swamp is... This is a mountain. I don't know what you're talking about. They're playing Is It Mill. I mean, at least the basic land box has a bunch of full arts, you know? They have 3 cards in hand. One's a push. I can't actually... I don't want to crack this fetch. I'm just going to Ephemerate again. Not sure if this is good, but... Having a really big fight over the Solitude. Why is there a red source main deck? Yeah, they're probably splashing for... Maybe they're splashing for Lightning Bolt. But man, if back in the day, if my basic land box had full art lands, that'd have been so pog. Well, you meant my deck. Well, I have a Jeskai land to be able to... the Jeskai land is more for Leyline Binding. We have 2 Triomes for binding purposes. Can't do anything about that. Troll Despair. Troll Despair. How did I cast Ephemerate with a swamp? True. Very true. Well, there's actually... It's like Blood Moon, right? It's basically just Blood Moon. Dead. We are dead. I'm not even sure that Leyline of Sanctity is good against them. I feel like it's probably not, right? Chat, the scam train's gonna die. Not the scam train. Are we saying their swamp is a mountain? Yeah, I mean, it looks like a mountain. See, the thing is, I understand that all of my lands look like swamps. I get that, but, you know. Yeah, plays are in Crypt Incursion. I probably should board in all 4 Prismatic Endings, but I want to keep the deck count the correct size. Zeriok, thank you for the biddies. Appreciate you. Scam Train. Sure, I guess. Oh yeah, we can't get trapped now too, which is nice. It's pretty decent. Does Jace target? Target player mills 3 times. So plays around Hedron, Crab, Trap, and Jace. So yeah, I guess that's not too bad. Leyline is good, I think. Let's go Jeskai. I'm gonna play Swamp here, so if they play a Crab, I want to cast the Binding here. Also want to hold up Goryos. If they mill me on their turn somehow, then I can just go end step Goryos. They side out Tashas. Yeah, that's true. They probably do side out Tashas against me. It's not very good, because my overall mana curve is very high. It's true. So if they're cutting Tashas, this gets a lot better, so that is a good point. Fractured Sanity. Okay, that's fine. It does exile, but on average, it's hitting what, like... Can't be hitting more than 10 cards on average, with 4 Atraxas, 2 Griselbrands, 4 Bindings, right? Look. Do me a favor and mill an Atraxa for me. Hell, I'll even take a Faithful Mending. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I should be saving these fetches, but... How many traps do you think are in their hand? Do you think they kept the FTK as just 4 traps? I mean, if your opening hand has 4 traps, you're not allowed to mulligan. You have to keep. Rude. Probably just binding that now. I can wait. I don't need to do it. It only costs 1 mana, so... This might be a hard cast Atraxa type of game. That's not bad either. I'm gonna hold up my mana. Is the plan, chat, cast these fatties? No, I mean, I'll eventually mill one. Like, I have, you know what I mean? I'll eventually hit a discard outlet, or I could just hit one off of the Prophecy. So now we'll go end step, binding this, and then I'll cast Prophecy. Surgical Ephemerate. I care? Well, I mean, I can't do anything about it anyways, so... I could binding in response, so if they pop the lantern, then they're... Yeah, sure. It's not like my graveyard is that relevant. No, I don't want to do this now, because I want them to pop the lantern. Oh, because if I let it resolve... Okay, if I binding now, they don't sack lantern. If I binding end step, there's a chance they might sack the lantern, which would make their drown worse. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like they don't want to pop the lantern anyways, because they have drown. Leyline of Sanctity. I copied a list from one of the challenges. Sure. Okay. They could have also done that too. These are cards. So let's go Mending, and I kind of just want this land. Because I think there's a chance they have a second Surgical that they cast right now on Griselbrand, because they know I have a Griselbrand and a Goryos in hand. Okay, they're not doing that. Well, if I Goryos now, they could have Surgical. I feel like I should probably be waiting here. Yeah, let's wait a turn. Caleb, thank you for the raid, buddy. Appreciate you. Welcome everybody from Caleb's stream. We're playing some Esper Goryo's Vengeance. Any comments on modern ban announcements? My comment is that nothing got banned. Because nothing got banned. There's no comment, right? I don't know what is there to comment on. Each opponent... No advance win? Yeah. Big Sag. The joke is that that will never happen. Okay, I'm going to target Griselbrand because I can't let them Surgical the Atraxa. Alright, well, I mean, if their hand is extra play plus Surgical, then I just lose anyways, but... Can pre-ban Golem, yeah. I think Spelldancer has a home in Pioneer Rogues. Spelldancer in Pioneer Rogues. I hadn't thought about Spelldancer. I mean, I played a little bit of Spelldancer. It didn't feel that great when I played it, though. I think it's that great. Say, don't you dare Mystical Dispute me. Teferi. Land creature, instant, enchantment, sorcery, planeswalker. So, planeswalker, creature, enchantment, land, sorcery, instant. Actually, I don't want the bending. I want to keep a card in my deck. Helps if you go by the order that's on the card. I just use Moto for reminders. Alright, please. I hope that you can't defeat an Atraxa. They probably have a bunch of draws in their hand, though. 20 cards is kind of sketchy. What is this? Alright, well, we're going to find out what you got. I would like to lead on Teferi. Oh, they just have nothing? Okay. I'm going to hardcast Grief, I think. The hell's in their hand? Oh. I guess that tracks. This does target, right? Oh, man. That's hilarious. Nice hand. Alright, Leyline's good call, chat. Good call on the Leylines. I know, they actually had 3 traps. They probably... I wonder if they kept a hand that had all 3 of them. I could see it. What's this? Crypt Incursion, target yourself. So they go to 12, but then they just died of Brutality. They drew another crap, but that's fine because we have Binding. Because we know their whole hand. Oh, they're just going to play Chump Blockers. But we still should have lethal, right? We go Binding, kill this one. Then I can go Brutality, discard, kill, drain. Let's go kill, drain. Discard here. 10. Cool. Game 3. Well, I have to drain them either way, right? Like I have to cast the Brutality regardless. I'm gonna bring in the 4th ending and just submit 70. I know I should submit 69, but Maybe I can cut a Prophecy. Let's cut a Prophecy, just because I really want to submit 69. It's the correct number of cards to submit against Mill. And I will not accept any other answer. Well, I mean, my opening hand has Leyline, and they're probably going to keep a hand that has 3 traps, so I guess I'll keep. I know, right? Who needs a land ratio when you just always have Leyline? 69. Can we get a 69 cards, by the way, going? Yeah, 69 cards, by the way. You thought 80 cards, by the way, was a meme? Wait till you see 69 cards, by the way. It's one of those kind of streams, Micah. It's one of those kind of streams. Okay, not bad. Please don't surgical by Atraxa. That'd be very, very rude of you if you did that. Although post-board they have a lot of surgicals. Playing Hase? Okay. Hase resolves. Both of these targets, so... Let's go blue, black, Indulgence. It's nice that they can't extirpate me. They can surgical me, but they can't extirpate me. I think I'm just killing the Jace. Although, no, the Jace doesn't do anything, right? I don't think Jace does much when I play line. They might surgical now, although they probably just wait till their turn. Sure. The art of the Jace is pretty nice, yeah. I wonder if they have any outs to Leyline, like random bounce spells. No, we haven't seen... Well, they didn't show us an out in the last game. But they also might not have known that we had Leyline, so maybe they didn't bring in any answers to it. Yeah, they have Otawara, that's true. I was just about to say Grief would be a nice one. Let's cast that. I don't think my left total matters that much. Again, I guess Jace can uptick on the Grief, but... They do have the Otawara. Odo Bug, I can't take their Otawara. This is a spell, why can't I take it? It's bullshit. I think I still just take the Jace. Uptick pass. Could have bounced the Grief there. Yeah, we could just cast the Leyline again. Well, I don't need to take Trap again. I could just fetch on my turn, and if they bounce the Leyline, they still can't cast the Trap because there's a Teferi in play, right? And I could still Teferi bounce the Grief anyways, but I kind of want to just kill the Jace, right? Like, I can fetch now. Hit a Swamp, I guess. No, I should just keep all my basics in the deck for Field of Ruin purposes, and then I can kill the Jace. Tick Tef. And they go Otawara, end step Otawara the Leyline, but then I can just recast the Leyline, right? It just doesn't matter. Holy shit, we get all the raids today. Tandy! Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate that. Welcome everybody from Tandy Stream. We are playing a little bit of Modern tonight and some Esper Goryos. Is that Jace number 3? Jace numero 3. Well, thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. Welcome, Raiders. Hope you had a good stream, buddy. She'll be in 2020X. Ross may or may not start streaming in the next, like, 30 years. Okay, let's go to combat. We will attack the Jace. Kind of surprised they downticked. I will recast the Leyline. I will uptick Tef. I'm going to fetch on my turn, but I'm not going to put the green source into play yet. Guess I could have held up Mending there. So we know they have Crypt Incursion plus Archive Trap right now. Oh yeah, how'd that Neoform deck look? Tried out Founding a Third Path and it felt nice. I actually had Founding the Third Path in my first version, but I never like spent too much time on it. But yeah, it did look pretty good. So they're gonna... No, they can't trap me. So we have 43 cards in deck. We just need to find a creature. Oh! I mean, that's one of the creatures. Okay, let's bounce nothing, draw a card. White, black, blue. I'm just gonna cast Prophecy. With the Griselbrand, I kind of want to just hit my land drops. Go here, pass. little bad with Stubby D, so I cut Stub. Do you like the Essence Fluxes? I don't know if you tried that card yet. That was a card that I was relatively impressed with when I was playing that deck. How many card types do I have? 3, 4, 2, 1 land. This is 5, right? Okay, so I can just draw 2. Are we Chad casting? Chat, I think we're Chad casting. I'm gonna grief them too in case they hit a. Oh, I can't grief them. I mean, YOLO. It sucks if they drew a drown, but whatever. Your turn. I can't even activate it because I'm at fucking 5. No! How could you? How could you? How fucking dare you? I guess I should have played Grave first. They can't drown. Well, they could just kill it on their turn. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm still probably going to win, but... yeah, they just kill it on their turn. It's so rude. None of these cards do anything. I just want to play some threats. Old lands in hand to discard to Mending. I still have one more Griselbrand I can hardcast, right? Yeah, I still have a Griselbrand in the deck. They have Trap. No! Stop! Stop drawing that card. Stop it. Stop it. I do have a Pioneer Arciki this weekend, yeah. Not sure what I'm playing yet. I was deciding between Boats or Tyvar Sack. Potentially Creativity, too. Ooh. I mean, surely they don't have the 4th Drown, right? I mean, if they had the 4th Drown, they would have just killed my grief. Hardcast 2 fucking Griselbrands this game, by the way. Any hardcasters in chat? Yeah, imagine suggesting Lingering Souls. I don't know about that. I can't imagine Lingering Souls as a playable card. There you go. The Chad cast. Just your average everyday game of Modern, hardcasting 2 Griselbrands, no big deal. Yeah, Modern is healing. They draw 2nd Otawara? No, they conceded. Sweet. Chad cast. Chad cast, add to queue. Turning this one up. I have no blue mana. Yeah, ship this. Keep this, put back 2nd Prophecy. Actually, kind of want to keep the Prophecy as a black card to pitch. Is it crazy to put a land back here? Yeah, whatever. Tied to Cavalier of Thorns. Cavalier of Thorns doesn't exist. It's fine. You just have to pretend like it's not a real card. Creativity. Creativity. Let's get... might want to get a basic swamp, so I guess I'll do this. I think I like basic swamp more than basic island. It's not that much different, but... with Gigantha. The people who don't play Gigantha in boats, I don't know what they're smoking. I don't get it. Play Gigantha in boats. I'm just gonna pass, I think. I cannot possibly imagine ever not registering Gigantha just for Watchwolf. These people just love their Watchwolf. A Watchwolf with upside, my apologies. There is a little bit of upside on your Watchwolf, but it is still a Watchwolf. I have to cast this Grief. Get Embercleave too. Well, you can just sideboard Embercleave anyways, which I do. Like, I just sideboard Embercleave and not reveal Gigantha against Mono Green, because, like, Gigantha doesn't come up against Mono Green, Embercleave does, so that's fine, but, like, main decking Embercleave is not very good in this format, I think. I'm just gonna pass. I'll wait one more turn. I don't know if I should be, but... yeah, the list that I played on Saturday in the Saturday Challenge, that's the list that I would recommend. Which was... I had Noah Crowan Wars main deck. That might have been a mistake. I think maybe going back up to 2 is good. But 4... we're past the days of 4 main deck of Crowan War. I think 2 is good. 2 main deck Luca, 3 boats, no main deck swords, 2 swords in the sideboard for the mirror. That kind of stuff. Marik... oh no. Oh no. Are we getting persisted? Honestly, if they persist Archon, that's pretty good for me, right? Just discard Atraxa. I kind of want them to Archon me. I don't want them to double Archon me, but I kind of want them to Let's do one Archon. I'm down with that. RTJ is so good. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. Supposed to cast Creativity, opponent. Let's Binding the Fable, I think. It's bad if they Pierce. But I just like, given that I'm mana screwed, I need to just use my mana here. Okay. Big Sag. An Ephemerate there would have been pretty good, but... Leyline Binding Lightning Bolt. Well, I mean, the bolt doesn't do anything, so... I mean, at least the good news is if they Creativity, we can discard Atraxa and then Goryos it, but... The song's good. I like the song. Griefing into Fable feels bad. It does, but, like, I kind of had to do it. Gross. Gross. Yeah, the song's good. There's some differing opinions in chat on this particular song, but I'm a fan. I don't think I'm casting Solitude here. It's not very good. Alright, go. Let's consider drawing a third land. It's a good strategy. Teferi, bounce my Fable, Giga Chad. What a Chad. Alright, I'm at 8. Do not feel good about this game. They're icing me. Okay. I think I really have any way out of this, but... Failure Teferi. Play this, hold up Mending, or Indulgence, excuse me. 6, 4, 5, 3. Oh no, this is not a discard outlet. Right? Because I have 3, 5, 6, 4, 0. Oh no, you hate to see it. When you're a discard out, oh, we're just into the bolt too. When your discard outlet is not actually a discard outlet. Well, what's up, JS? Sorry to hear that, buddy. Okay, so Creativity, 19 to 20 lands. I mean, we just got mana screwed that game, but do you want to cut lands? No, I think 21 is good. I think 21 is good. This card's interesting because it's good against Archon. I don't know if it's where I want to be, though, because it's not great against counter spells. I like Teferis. Like, Void is good against Persist, but I don't even know how many Persist they're even playing. Prismatic Ending seems kind of mid. I don't know, man. Sideboarding against Creativity is so tough. Because they have, like, so many different, like, angles that they can... And, like, the issue with Leyline of Sanctity is they just have Teferi. So they just go Tef, bounce your Leyline, then Creativity the next turn. It's not that good. They're not playing discard spells. These cards seem that appealing. I think I'm just going to bring in Teferis. Just shave on this stuff. Not sure if that's right, but... What's the purpose of Griselbrands in the deck over Emrakul? So the nice thing about that is you can, like, Griselbrand to draw a bunch of cards, and then if you find Ephemerate, you can go Ephemerate your Griselbrand after Goryos to keep it. So that's at least the idea. Why no Emrakul? Again, same thing. It's just like Griselbrand's better than Emrakul in this deck because of the interaction with Ephemerate. Like, you can't... Ephemerate has protection from... What protection does Emrakul have? Emrakul the Eon. I know it has protection from something, but protection from spells that are... Yeah, so you can't Ephemerate the Emrakul. That's the joke. Yeah, spells that are 1 or more color. Discard into Reanimate. Yeah, I mean, you have 7 turn 2 enablers. I think that's enough. I guess you have Brutality too, so you actually have 9. Oh, for Emrakul. Sure. Yeah, probably not enough for Emrakul. I hope they play red and 6. Deal. So let's go Fountain. Goryos leaving up white. Okay, so I hit the Ephemerate. We unfortunately did not hit the Ephemerate. Very, very unfortunate. And I can't cast Binding. Seems like it could be fine the grass deck I'm playing tonight. What's that, JS? So what do we get? Instant land, sorcery, creature, enchantment. So enchantment, creature, sorcery. They want another Goryos to try and go again. I don't have another fatty though is the issue. Take fetch land. The Goryos are mending. Oh, slow bad. That's kind of interesting. I could see it. I feel like mending. No. Let's high roll the Goryos. And then let's kill the red and 6. I have 9 cards in my hand. So I guess that means we are discarding backup Tef, extra land. Sucks that we didn't find Ephemerate, but if an Esper Underworld cookbook with Emrakul could be a thing then. See the regular Esper food and Jun food, unsure what the best one at. Esper Underworld cookbook. I tried Esper food list a really long time ago, like back when the food decks were more popular. It's like Asmo plus like Prismatic Ending, because the white cards are pretty good. I have 4 mana. I don't really want to hardcast Grief, but if I play Tef, they can just Archon me. I don't want to pitch anything to the Grief. I might just go Delta Pass. Can, like, end of turn play the Mending. I'm just going to Delta Pass. For sure, JS. Yeah, let me know. Should I build Hammer or Murktide as first Modern deck can't decide, so decide for me? Well, your first Modern deck, I mean, Murktide's a lot easier to play than Hammer, for sure. So, I would probably recommend Murktide. Like, if you've never played any games with either deck, the barrier for entry for Murktide is a lot lower than the barrier for entry for Hammer Time. It's one of those things where, you know, Hammer is similar to Burn. Maybe not, Hammer's a lot harder than Burn, but what I meant is that, like, you can play it at, you know, 50% proficiency and still get a lot of free wins, but the Hammer deck is a lot harder to play at, like, 100% proficiency. You know what I mean? What? It's Mending in response. Not finding any fatties. I think I still want to keep a Goryos in hand. Maybe it's better to discard the Solitude there. Alright, we can get the last colored land. Last Triome, excuse me. So then we can go 1 mana Binding plus maybe Teferi. Okay, found a Griselbrand, which we can discard to Mending. I think we want to go Teferi first. And then they're going to counter this, we can kill their Teferi. Saw an Esper Soul Flare yesterday in Pioneer League. People have tried Soul Flare in the past in Pioneer. Not, like, super opposed to it. I don't think the deck's that bad. Just, like, I never tried it personally. But, might be good. It's powerful. I think I'm going to cast the Grief here. Like, worst case scenario, I can Solitude pitch Binding. 5 color. I don't have any thoughts on the Omnath decks. They're just not my cup of tea. I know nothing about them. That's bad. That's really bad. I have 3 cards in hand. Okay, I kind of want to Grief though now. Not sure if this is right, but what I plan on doing is going Grief, Flashback, Mending, trying to find a land, then I can Goryos. That's the idea here. Pierce, double creativity, huh? That's not ideal. Well, if my plan is to go for broke, then I have to take Pierce. Need an untapped land. It's not an untapped land. So I guess we go discard Atraxa Indulgence, and then Binding the Teferi. Eat the treasure with Binding. If I eat the treasure, I still have the Teferi in play. No, I think it's better to eat the Teferi. Maybe not. Oh, they're just doing this now. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Oh, right. Okay. I see. They did it now, so I couldn't Solitude. And now they can just... yeah. Maybe I had to discard the Goryos there. Like, discard Goryos, Solitude, pitch, but that line still loses to second creativity. I guess I'm just going to lose to second creativity anyways, but... Yeah. I guess my out was like discard Goryos, Solitude, kill the Archon, but then they just like Archon. I love it when chat is chat. Just chatting. We're on the draw. I mean, I probably shouldn't keep this hand, but we're keeping it for content. Secluded Courtyard. Oh, goblins. Goblins. Surely I'll draw land. I wish I was a streamer so when I made loose plays I could blame it on content. It's usually what it is. Still think Grief Ephemerate's better than Solitude Ephemerate. Could be wrong. Willing to believe this is wrong, but... So, I'm gonna take Munitions Expert and Mog War Marshal, leaving them with double Lord, and then I can maybe Binding and or Solitude the Lords, depending. Okay. See if they found a 2 to Violin. Yeah, that's all you have to do. If you ever make a bad decision, just blame it on content. What did you draw? Oh no. Not like this. It's a lot of Horde Masters. Okay, land's good. So... I think I'm going to just pass for now. Hold up Binding. And then maybe they attack. I guess it doesn't matter unless we want to go Binding plus Solitude. Like block Binding Solitude. Eat this. They get 1 trigger, then we have this left over. Why didn't I Solitude in response to the rebound trigger? It's not how it works. I know what you're asking, I know what you're trying to do, but it doesn't work like that. Do I want to spew the Solitude? I don't think so, but I will cast Binding here. Someone did it yesterday at SCGCon. I mean, it works in paper, but it only works in paper. I'll take 4. Holding on to you now. Collective Brutality. If only I had a legendary creature to discard. I really don't want to give them 2 triggers. Alright, this turn I might actually do that line where I go block and then Solitude the other one. I think I might do that this turn. It works on Moto if you have Moto Premium. Whoa. Turn off audio. Munitions Expert. So even if I kill a Horde Master, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can cast the Solitude in response to the rebound trigger, but it's not gonna... What you're trying to do is not going to... It's not gonna work out the way you want it to. Is there a thought behind not fetching a second Triome? No, I'm just an idiot. Yeah, I should have got the Triome. The thought is, I'm dumb. That's the thought. Have I tried full control? What do you mean? What's full control? The Walmart Aspiring Spike. What is exactly not going to work out about it? Ooh. That's a really good draw. I think I'm going to kill this. So let's go -2 drain. I will discard that one. It is your turn. Let's see what they hit. They hit a Pashalik Mons. Okay. So I have 2 options here. I can either cast the Goryos in combat and try to ambush something, or I can main phase it and try to hit land plus Ephemerate, which I think I might do that. I think I'm just going to main phase it. Because the problem with doing it in combat is I can't play a land on their turn. Unless I cheat, but let's just do it main phase. It did not hit the Ephemerate. Also got massively punished for not fetching the correct land earlier. Okay, so enchantment, instant, creature, and combat. 7. Man, imagine if this was a Triome, which it should be, and I wasn't a complete moron. Yeah, I can always hold up the Solitude. I don't need to cast it now. Thank you for registering your premium account. Please note that you may experience some technical difficulties if you accumulate too much bad karma. Noted. Define bad karma, though. Like, what exactly causes bad karma? Okay, Triumph, so this binding costs 1. How many different types do we have in our graveyard? Our mana values? 2, 0, 4, 5, 1. So, yet again, Indulgence is not a discard outlet. This thing can sacrifice itself. Alright, let's main phase this Indulgence, because it's just the draw 2. Okay. All the Goryos in the world here. And then I think I'm going to upkeep binding the Bashalik Mons. Not doing it now, because they can attack with the 1/1s if I do that. That's true. The bot is not... Oh, no. Is this a Kiki Jiki? Sure is. Well, I guess I'm going to kill that one. Probably should do it now, while they're hellbent. No, I didn't see that list, JS. We'll probably end up playing it tomorrow, though, when we do Pioneer. Alright, kill your Kiki. Probably copy this to get another point of damage. It's actually kind of sick. They can go copy, and then sack this for 2 1/1s. How close am I to dead? Sack this, put me to 11. Attack for 5. Go to 6. Pretty close. Close-ish. Gotcha, JS. Gotcha. Oh, I did my math. It's 6 damage, yeah. 6 damage, go to 7. 1, 2, 3, yeah. 6, go to 7. Alright, I need to draw a fatty. Please let me draw a fatty. Goblins is based. Spell. Skirk Oh my god, is that lethal? It is, right? Yeah. It's just lethal. Right? They just go... They're not sacrificing this to make 2 goblins? I guess they don't have to. So they go to 6. They can go tap 4. They could have floated that into 2 goblins. And they could have just sacked their whole board, right? I can't really crack this fetch, though. I don't think. So... I think we have to go -2 drain. I don't think I have any way out of this, though. Because they can just respond. They can just respond and kill me, right? They go sack this, make 2 1/1s. I go to 5. Then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm just dead. If they see it. Well, they didn't sack the token, which I don't know why they didn't. Like, they could have just killed me on their end step, right? But I guess if they had lethal anyways, then it's whatever. It doesn't really matter. Let's see if they see it. Yeah, they see it. All right. Game 2. I have been defeated. Okay, Teferi bad against goblins. Leyline not good. Silence not good. Bashalik Mons targets, right? It's not each opponent. Bashalik Mons does target. I mean, there's no way I want Leyline, right? I definitely want Ending. Sling Gang also targets, right? So it, like, stops them from comboing. Is that bad? Might not be that bad. We could try it. I don't know what I'd cut, though. I don't want to cut the Shadow Prophecies. I mean, we have enough removal that I don't think we need the Leyline of Sanctities. I think I'm just going to cut these and bring in the Prismatic Endings. I found it extremely prevalent in Insidious Bug on MTGO. When you target a Might or any creature, I guess, with an equip ability while Kemba's in play, the equipment is destroyed in response. The targeted creature will get +1/+1 even though the equipment is gone. Really? It's kind of weird. That is very, very strange. Has it happened, like, multiple times, Greasemonger? Yeah, that's a good point, Pike. Like, if they have enough resources to combo, so, yeah. I'm with you. It's probably not that good. We just can't let them get that far in the game. Which, I mean, we have enough removal. We should be able to manage their resources up till that point. It happened one time. Gotcha. Are you shaking and crying, Sauce? Oh, okay. I got you, Steve. Oh, the Kimba bug. Go. No Vile on turn 1. What do we got? We got Vile on turn 2. You'll love to see it. Okay, I accept. Kill your Vile. Your turn. Please don't Blood Moon me. Well, I guess we have Solitude if they... Well, I'm gonna say if they Magus me, we have Solitude, but not if they Blood Moon me. If they Moon us, we have to just fetch basic planes and hope to peel. I didn't think about Blood Moon, but... Human. Is this actually a Magus? Magus is a human, right? I guess I'm gonna fetch planes now. Oh, it doesn't even matter, right? Yeah, it literally doesn't even matter, because I can just kill the Magus and then Prismatic and then Ephemerate. Well, I don't have an Ephemerate, but you know what I mean. The question is, do I want to Grief Pitch Goryos? Yeah, I'll just let them have this for a turn. Should Goblins be a 4-moon main deck? Maybe? It's a good sideboard card. Not sure about main deck, but... Take 2 and try and find an Ephemerate. That is not an Ephemerate. Can Prismatic Ending the War Marshal? I'm still not going to grief them. I'm going to take like 1 or 2 more hits. Yeah, the whole song is basically a breakdown. That is true. Sure. Can Prismatic Ending that? Yeah, you have some utility lands like Cavern too. So playing Blood Moon main deck makes your Murktide matchup probably a lot worse, because this is your best card against Murktide. I still refuse to cast this Solitude yet. I'll take 1 more turn. I'll give it 1 more draw step. I mean, they can't sack the Magus anyways. This puts me to 9, and then they have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Alright, I'll take 1 more draw step to try and find Ephemerate. This turn I probably have to cast it, though. Alright, Ephemerate, please. Because I could have tried to grief that away before they do the swamp. Can Faithful Mending into Ephemerate? It's not Ephemerate. I'm at 11. So I can go Solitude, Pitch, kill Magus. Then I can Indulgence. Just think if I want to grief them or not. Kind of want to save the Indulgence in case I draw a fatty. I think I'm just going to pass with the intention of Solitude, Pitch, target Magus. Take 4, go to 7. There's a chance I'm just dead by not casting grief here, but Tarfire me. So I'm dead to literally any goblin? Yeah, I'm probably dead. Not Solituding the Sling Gang is pretty scary. I mean, if I Solitude the Sling Gang, I just can't cast any spells, right? I guess I can go Solitude, Pitch, Solitude, kill Magus, Tainted Indulgence, try to find Solitude white card. Maybe that's good? Can Flashback Mending. I don't have 3 mana. So kill this, then cast Indulgence. God, we needed to find that. We needed to find the Ephemerate. It's not Solitude white card. Cast before evoke into the Magus. You want me to cast Tainted Indulgence off of 2 mountains? I don't think I can do that. They had the Magus in play, so I had to cast the Solitude before. Windswept Teeth, Sacred Foundry. Our best friend Ragavan. Legitimately, I kid you not, I looked at this hand very quickly, and I thought this was a swamp. I swear to God, I thought this was just a swamp. So, I guess, yeah. Oh, man. After exile, before evoke trigger. Yeah, but I only had 2 mana. What's the point? It doesn't matter, right? I didn't have an extra mana to cast the Ephemerate. That's why I stopped using the Crushing Brutality lands. Which ones are those? I think after they cast Teferi, like 1% Solitude hitting a Sling Gang versus 0.5 hitting percent Magus. Yeah, maybe. Which ones are these? Oh, those ones? Those are indistinguishable, like even more so than these ones. John 1028, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good day today. That was a good draw. So, I mean, if they had Blood Moon, they would have cast it, right? I was thinking about casting Indulgence now to try and hit Grief, but I probably still should just do it now, right? Because I could hit Grief, just in case they have Blood Moon and didn't go for it. Alright, well, please don't Blood Moon me. Guess I could have fetched the basic Swamp to play around Blood Moon. I probably should have, actually, now that I think about it. It's like, Sacred Foundry Ragavan is usually Blood Moon decks. Once again, John, thank you for the 7. Ragavan into Wall Moments. Yeah, this is... Oh, no, they hit Atraxa. Thank God they can't cast it. This is like the Boros... It's like Boros mid-range stuff. I would like to cast Goryo's Vengeance. What say you, opponent? Might be the brought back deck. It might just also be just, you know, Boros, like Blood Moon, Wall Moments, Ephemerate, Fury, Solitude stuff. But they could have brought back. What are we casting? Casting Solitude. Which means they probably have Ephemerate. Just kind of awkward. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. Make him show me the Ephemerate. Damn it. Okay. This is kind of fine because we have another Atraxa and a discard outlet, so we can maybe just go again. They have 1 card left. Solitude's kind of awkward. I wanted to kill this Ragavan. No, I didn't. I fortunately did not win the dual land. I went 2-2, lost to Mono Green twice. So let's take Goryos. So I definitely want to try to Atraxa them next turn. I want to take Grief, instant land creature enchantment. So instant creature enchantment, land for basic swamp. And then I kind of just want to Grief them. Yeah, I played green black sack. I feel like the green matchup has been kind of tough for me. Grief pitch prophecy. Not sure if this is even good, but oh well, turned out it was pretty good. I guess they couldn't really cast that anyways, but I went up to 4 Canker Blooms because that's the I kept losing to Needle off of Karn, so I think Canker Bloom is good. I thought about like Stain the Mind. So, because your best draws involve elves anyway, so if you go elf into, like, elf plus 2-drop, then you can just turn 3 Stain the Mind, name Karn, and when they don't have Karn, it's a lot easier to win. I thought about that. Worse than Necro. Well, the thing about Stain is if you have enough of the token makers, you can just cast it for 1 mana, and still you're still able to cast something else that turn, which I like. My brother in Christ, that's an Avalanche Riders. My brother in Christ. We're getting Avalanche Ridered. Yeah. They cast Avalanche Riders. They can't pay for it. So I think I'm just going to pass, because if they drew another Ephemerate, they have to cast it on their upkeep, and then I can respawn and kill the Avalanche Riders. Could have used Discard Step. Yeah, but I don't have black mana in play is the issue. So if they don't cast Ephemerate here... Well, I don't have to upkeep it. I can just wait till combat to kill the Ragavan. I'm gonna Binding the Ragavan this turn. Just get basic swamp. Yeah, I know the black lands. No! I guess I should have Binding the Avalanche Riders, huh? Resolves. And they did have brought back. So I think I kill the Ragavan now. Gotta kill the Ragavan now. They have 1 card left. Let's hope it's not another brought back, because they can do the same trick next turn and blow up my swamp. I guess I can Brutality the Riders. Yeah, what if we just Brutality the Riders, right? That plays around them drawing brought back. So let's go -2 Thoughtseize you. I guess I should do all 3 modes and just discard both Atraxas. This just plays around them drawing brought back. Hiri the Unforgiving. Okay, so they cannot draw Avalanche Riders. Brought back doesn't do anything. They can cast Nahiri, but could just Goryos and try to find another Ephemerate. And also kill their Nahiri. Oh, right! That just gets back the Riders. God damn it. Alright, black mana, please. Right, I forgot they could just... Oh my god. Yeah, they just 0 for Riders. Black mana. Black mana. Should play that now, I think. Oh no. Ripperoni. Pepperoni. Pepperoni. Just played this deck for 5 rounds, resolve 0 Goryos. Yeah. So you were not having a good time. I've resolved a few Goryos today. I've also gotten Avalanche Riders a couple of times today, so, you know. You can see how this is going. Black mana. I keep Indulgence and not Mending. Oh, yeah, I guess I should have kept the Mending. I was thinking discarding it's better, because I can cast it from the graveyard, but I can just cast it for 2 mana from my hand, because I need to find a black source. Yeah, that was better. I just wasn't thinking. Oh, no. It's like a ticking time bomb. Black source. Okay, still alive. I would like to Goryos my Atraxa. Okay, I think we still might win this game. Ah, they have no cards in hand? We'd love to see that. I mean, we don't get to attack them for 7, but we do get to do this. So let's take Binding. Creature instant land enchantment. So Binding, fetch, I guess fetch land. Instant, and then probably Solitude, yeah. I mean, yeah, because we already have an Atraxa in the graveyard. So this is fine. And then the second trigger can let this go. And the next trigger can get... I guess they can just get back the Solitude, kill the Atraxa, but then we gain 7. And maybe just run Goryos again. Yeah, but that's fine, because I'm just gonna get the Goryos again next turn, right? Yeah, but it's fine. Like, I want them to give me 7 life, you know? So this one gets Planeswalker, land, sorcery, and probably just another Solitude. Like, that's fine. I have 10 cards in my hand. I guess I probably should just Solitude now. Yeah, let's Solitude now, because I don't want to discard too many cards. And then discard probably a land. Look, at the end of the day, Jimmy MTG, they're all spike decks. Every single deck in Modern is just a spike deck. I will happily take 7 life. Alright, now we should probably just kill them. Because we actually get to kill the Nahiri too, which is pretty sick. Stop those shenanigans. We do need to find an Ephemerate, though. What does Nahiri do? Oh, in before chat wants me to cast the Solitude with the rebound in the stack. So how many Ephemerates do I have left? I have 2. Alright, Goryos, Atraxa. There we go. Ephemerate, instant, enchantment, and I guess land. Enchantment, land, instant. Done. Combat. I would like to attack your Nahiri. Can Goryo with the rebound in the stack, but then you can't kill Nahiri. Yeah, I want to kill the Nahiri. I have enough Atraxa triggers here. I don't want to deck myself. I only have 20 cards left. There's like a realistic chance that I deck myself here. I could just choose not to take anything. I do want to take Griselbrand Goryos, though. Yeah, but I want to take Griselbrand Goryos. How many Atraxas do I have left? This is my last Atraxa. We still have an Ephemerate in the deck, right? Yeah, there's 1 Ephemerate left. So, instant creature. Let's just do that. 18 cards. Let's play this. And pass, discarding Griselbrand, this, and I guess Brutality? We have a fetchable white source? We should, yeah. I think we should. Alright, they just passed. I don't even think I want to rebound this. I think I don't. I think I just want to just attack for 7. I think I get enough cards. I guess I could have went for the Griselbrand there. Kind of wanted to just play Teferi, though. Just Teferi uptick. Alright, they're off it. Let's go. How many Atraxa triggers did we have that game? Okay, so the first one, I went Goryos. They Solitude, then I Ephemerated, so that was 2. I think it was 7 Atraxa triggers? What's the backup deck? We're not going to leak it yet, but if you want to go on Twitter, you can find the backup deck. Yeah, they're over here trying to blow up my lands. Not today. Not today. Where's my Sacred Grounds? Do y'all remember the period of time on Moto where Sacred Ground was just bugged? Like, you just cast it and you won the game, basically. Or no, what was the trick? It was something to do with, like, if you Sacred Ground Ghost Quartered, it, like, got back your Ghost Quarter, so you would just infinitely Ghost Quarter them. I think that's what the bug was. Alright, what do we want against Boros Stone Rains? It worked whenever a land was put into your graveyard. Oh yeah, that's what it was, yeah. Because it's supposed to be where it only works if your opponent blows up your land, but if you just sacrifice the land, so like fetch lands, Ghost Quarters, that stuff. It's alright. It's alright. I think Teferi is good against them. It's like good against Brought-Back, good against Ephemerate. Preparing for Russie. I have been, yeah. I've been playing more standard. I'm going to keep Brutality for Ragavan. Like Trim of Prophecy. They're probably going to bring in Graveyard Hate, right? Like Rest in Peace. Maybe I just want to do this. Bring in 3 Prismatic Ending. Maybe 4 Ending, 2 Teferi on the draw. Yeah, I think the card you're referring to, Jace Meister, way back in the day, I think it was Plea for Power, which was a Will of the Council card, and I think it like gave your opponent a choice with the Will of the Council ability. But what ended up happening was that every time you cast it, it just didn't give them a choice. It just like they just timed out basically. Yeah, they were forced to select the DIT. But at the end of the day, you can't select DIT. DIT is not an option, so. The Pine Lancer. Alright, keep this, put back the 3rd land, probably. I haven't really found any new decks that I like in Standard. Again, I think if the tournament was tomorrow, I'd probably just play Rakdos Atraxa. Should I play around Blood Moon? If I get a basic Plains I can't cast Indulgence onto. It's probably just better to go Hallowed Fountain Basic Swamp. Basic Swamp a little bit better than Basic Island, because Basic Swamp cast Goryos. I think I should Grief. I want to Grief next turn, because, like, depending on what I draw, too. If I draw Goryos, I might just not even Grief. But if I Grief Ephemerate, and they just, like, I don't know. I don't want to trade the Grief for Ragavan, you know? Okay, now I can Grief. I think this is good. It's worse if they have 2 bolts, but if they have 2 bolts, I'll just leave them with 2 bolts, and then I'll cast Indulgence. Testing the Chaotic Transformation list. They are casting Brought-Back. Or, excuse me, Solitude. Sure. They want to cast Ephemerate. They're going to have no cards in their hand. Because they're going to cast the Ephemerate, then I'm going to Grief their last card, right? Because I still get a Grief trigger. Oh, okay. They just had nothing. The joke was they just had nothing anyways, so it was fine. I guess they knew they were losing their whole hand. You've seen Mono Red Atraxa? I haven't seen Mono Red Atraxa yet, but turns out they're not a Blood Moon deck, by the way. They're playing Emiria. A weekend, this is just something that you can casually name drop. I mean, did you see my tweet, Jimmy MTG? Standard, like, I said standard testing is going well for the RC, and it was my Magic Online, or my Arena decks were just like Rakdos Atraxa, Grixis Atraxa, Jund Atraxa, Esper. It's just like all Atraxa decks, basically. That's the joke. Although, to be fair, I haven't actually tried Esper yet. But I think pairing Atraxa with the white mid-range cards could be good. Wandering Emperor. Wandering Emperor is fucked up. Yeah, I don't think I've seen mono red though. What's the mono red list look like? Speaking of Atraxa, it's better. No Goryos, big Sag. It's just mono red Oko, right? It's just Oko all over again. The way that I look at Standard is there's basically three pillars. You can play Grixis, you can play, like, Grixis is in the middle, right? Grixis is the mid-range deck. And your options are either play Grixis and be better in the mirror, you can either try to go under Grixis, which is like mono red, blue white soldiers, or you just go completely over the top of them with, you know, insert redacted Atraxa deck. That's the way that I look at Standard. You know, it might be a little bit more nuanced than that, but that's at least, like, been my opinion of it. Yeah, burn. Oko burn. I tried the Fire's Enigmatic Incarnation Atraxa version. What, in Pioneer? No. Well, I've tried Atraxa in the Fire's Incarnation deck, but I wasn't a big fan of Atraxa in that deck. Brought back Charmaw. I guess I'll take Charmaw. I don't think the brought back matters. Is Green White Toxic the truth in Standard? I played one league with it, Tonber. I went 3-2. And I was like, I mean, this deck is fine, but I think if you want to play a Skrelv deck, you're actually better off playing Esper. I think the Esper Legends deck is really good. I 4-1'd a league with that. My only loss in that league was to Salvato, who was on Mono White, which did seem like a difficult matchup for Esper, but it felt good against Grixis. So they want to, what, double block and then brought back? Alright, let's just lead on Mending, see what we can find. Yeah, the backup deck is based, isn't it? Okay, let's just go Goryos with a mana up. I'm at 16. Do I Griselbrand? I mean, when in doubt, Griselbrand, right? No, it's still probably better to Atraxa. I don't think there's much of a difference, but because this is lethal either way. Let's go Ephemerate. Thoughts on push plus lead the Stampede for the red-black matchup with the Tyvar deck. The problem with lead the Stampede is a lot of the time. So here's my strategy against Rakdos with the list that I played in the challenge. I was cutting all 8 elves in that matchup, which I think is actually correct, because it increases your overall card quality. The games go long anyway, so I don't mind shaving on elves. And it makes you, like, a little bit less weak to Bone Crusher, because you're not keeping hands that are reliant on elves as much. So I like that a lot. But the issue is, you're already cutting a lot of creatures, which is making your collected companies worse in post-board games. So because of that, I don't actually think that you want to bring in Lead the Stampede, because you just don't... I think the way that it works is you don't have enough Coco hits post-board, if you do that. This song is called The Slow Decay by Polaris. And a Colossus Hammer. Colossus Hammer. Is Kethek even playable when you're straight black-red? In Limited, I mean, it's a 4-mana 4-4, which is not that bad. I think I'm going to cast Mending here. How's this matchup? I mean, I have 2 Bindings and a Solitude. I can't imagine it's that bad, right? We'll see. We shall see. Not bad. I'm going to keep both Solitudes. Okay, no Goryos. So I can just hold up 2 1-mana Bindings. Can hold up 2 1-mana Bindings and a Solitude. And then if they go for Cauldron, I can just Binding it. I think they might have Cauldron in hand, given they fetched Hammer, but, you know, it all depends on, kind of just depends on what's in their hand. Drum is fine. Sounds like a bad Testament Bearer. That is true. I mean, Testament Bearer is probably a little bit better. I have really not drafted black that much. I know this is going to sound kind of dumb, but I basically just force red-green every time when I draft. Not the best idea to force decks, but that's where I'm at. They're doing nothing. So the problem with flashing back Mending here is I can't get the Triome to get a 1-mana Binding. So what I think I might do is just get Triome and do nothing. I can pull my deck here. Because I kind of want to save these bindings. Okay, it's something to discard to the Mending. Not activating Stoneforge. Okay, interesting. So they have 3 cards, one's a hammer. So we let this resolve. They cast hammer, I respond, binding this, then they target this, then I binding this. So response to this is Spell Pierce? So I can just pay for Spell Pierce and then pitch Solitude, right? They could have a second Spell Pierce in hand. Okay, I'll pay. I will pay. Even if they have second Spell Pierce, I can still pitch my whole hand. The question is, do I pitch the second Solitude? No, I don't think I do. I have 2 Mendings in the graveyard. I don't need the Mending in hand. So we go target Paladin. Because they're protecting the Paladin. They just scooped. I mean, I had nothing left, basically. I don't know why they scooped. They were just off it. I didn't have any pressure at all. That game was far from over, but oh well, we'll take it. Not gonna complain. I guess I have to pay the actors more, huh? I mean, that seemed like a very, average, everyday Hammer Time exchange. So I don't really know, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I guess they only had 1 card left, sure. But if they just draw a Paladin, they're right back in it, I think Prophecy's a little bit too slow in this matchup. So we'll cut those. Definitely going to bring in all the endings. Does Spike cut Grief in this matchup or no? Grief can be kind of awkward against Urza Saga. Maybe I trim like 2 Griefs and bring in the Teferi. Just go to 2 Teferi on the draw. Does that look good? Would you consider cutting the other Griefs for 2 Prophecies? Maybe that's good. I don't hate that. 1 Tef seems wrong one way or another. Yeah, no, I think 2 Tef is good. 2 Tef, 2 Prophecy seems fine. How does Silence work in response to a spell in the stack? I guess opponent spell resolves after Silence does. Yeah, if they cast a spell and you cast Silence, that doesn't work. You have to basically do it before they cast a spell. So, Zane has Prismatic Ending and the combo, but no discard enabler. This is a little too sketch. This seems much better. Keep this bin the Mending. How has this deck been straight up crushing it all day? No, I wouldn't say crushing it. We 0-2 dropped the first league, and we're 2-2 in this league, so it's been okay. I don't think this deck's bad, but I think it's missing. It's missing a little bit. Ride or Die with the song request. What you got for me? Ooh, let's go. I'm in. How does it compare to the Asmo Goryos version? Similar. I think I like the Asmo version better because you get to play this card, and this card's broken. So I think I would prefer the Asmo version. But they are very, very similar. It's missing consistency. Yeah, just like BJK said, it's more of a high roll deck than anything. Got a hammer. Okay. Okay, I am going to just pass. Is there any deck where you don't prefer the Asmo version? Asmo Rhinos? I think that is a significantly worse version than traditional Rhinos. Imagine Shardless into Asmo. Don't tempt me with a good time. Yeah, no blocks. You got me. I guess the nice thing about Grief is you can take their Spell Pierce, which would be nice if I could do that this game. Yeah, Shardless into Cookbook. I have played a few Shardless Asmo decks before. They're not very good, but... Alright, let's discard these. And then if they go to make a Saga token, then I can cast the Goryos. I think that's my plan. BJKB Smith converting from a Prime sub to a Tier 1 sub, and with the 2 months. Thank you so much for the support, BJ. I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, so I think I should fetch for a swamp first, is what I'm getting at. I don't think it matters too much, but... Get Swamp. Cast Goryos, get Atraxa. Yeah, we're just looking for Ephemerate. I wonder. No, I guess it wouldn't matter. I was gonna say I wonder if they were supposed to do this in my second main phase, but then I just go to my end step and then cast it, so it wouldn't have mattered. Atraxa trigger. These splicers. Okay, there's an Ephemerate and another Solitude. That's pretty good. Binding and sorcerer creature instant enchantment. So instant enchantment creature sorcery land. Now the question is, do we Ephemerate now? I will have to discard more cards though, is the issue. I guess I could Solitude Ephemerate. Or I could just go Solitude, no Ephemerate. Because I think they just might make another token, right? Thoughts on just Solitude, no Ephemerate? I kind of like that. It looks weird, but I think I like this. Then I can just hold up the... Yeah, I just hold everything up. Maybe it's better to play around Spell Pierce. I would have to discard a lot more cards, though, is the issue. Well, it's not a guarantee that I don't have the Ephemerate, right? Because I might just want to hold up mana for... You know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily a guarantee that I don't have it, but... But again, I could just do this if they make a token, so... I'm just going to keep taking Solitudes. Creature, enchantment, instant land. Alright, good luck. Turtle Power, thank you for the 31 months. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for the 31. Sounds like the Mongolian throat singing. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I guess that's just gonna happen. I didn't think about playing around Path. Swish Gaming, thank you for the raid. Much appreciated. Yeah, I can't do anything about this path. I hadn't thought about that. I guess I could have played around that and not done the Ephemerate proactively, but I wanted to do it while they were tapped out of colored mana. We know they still have a hammer in hand. I mean, I really don't think it matters. I have 11 cards in my hand. I think we can figure it out. I don't have an Ephemerate, so I could upkeep Mending. So upkeep Mending, find Ephemerate, then I can go Solitude, pitch Ephemerate, and then resolve this rebound trigger. Is that good? I think that's fine. I think that's fine. It's Mending. I'm going to cast the Mending anyways, right? Yeah, I could also find the Atraxa. So discard that. Don't need this. And... okay, let that resolve. Of course it was the next card. This is still fine, though. They have 2 cards in hand. So why don't I just go... Solitude, pitch, Binding? Kill this. Ephemerate this. Oh, they don't want to play anymore. What happened? Come back. I mean, I was just going to kill other shit, basically. I was going to evoke this, kill this. I was going to Collective Brutality this, then I have another Solitude in hand. It just, like, didn't matter at that point. Easy. That matchup seems pretty good. Match 8. I got 4 useless cards and attack for lethal. Back into the trash this goes. He finally cast the Goryos Vengeance. I cast a lot of Goryos Vengeances that league. Well, for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, deck was okay. I thought it was a cool take on the kind of Goryos Vengeance stuff. Not sure about some of the flex spots, like the 2 Brutalities. Brutality felt okay. Additional discard outlets were pretty good. I feel like 3 Prophecy might be a little bit too much. Maybe you go down to 2 Prophecy, 2 Teferi. But everything else is pretty good. Sideboard cards came up. Not sure about Silence. That could be something else. But overall,